I'm Naeem Maver. I run the APAC business for Canonical. I'm based out of Sydney, and I hope I make the next 10 minutes of yours worthwhile in terms of how technology is being leveraged, especially open source, to deliver the outcomes in the telecom industry that everyone spoke about. Before I start, a quick raise of hand on how many of you know Ubuntu. That's good. Okay, a quick raise of hand of how many of you know Canonical? As expected, Canonical is the company behind Ubuntu. So we are the publishers of Ubuntu. If you think of any parallels from the industry, think Windows, Microsoft, think Canonical Ubuntu. That's the way it is. We are the publishers. We manage the life cycle. We have been managing the patches, updates, and everything, upgrades for the last 20 years. We've been around for almost 20 years, close to 1,000 employees across the globe, and we work only remote. The reason why we work only remote is because we believe by working remotely, we are tapping into any talent which is possible, available anywhere in the world. Why are we interested in the top 1% talent in the world? Because when we hire the best talent in the world, we are able to create solutions and technologies which become more and more relevant for the industries to use and build capabilities around it. Ubuntu and Canonical, we take pride not only in building technologies for our customers, but also for our competition, and I'll explain you how. I saw many hands being raised about Ubuntu, and I was very happy to see that. I'm not surprised, to be honest, because in telecom industry, Ubuntu is well established. In the world right now, if you look at different Linux distributions, Ubuntu forms almost 60% of the Linux distributions in the world, which is surprising to many, but it is a fact as per the opensource.org. If you extrapolate it in the cloud environment, that is, your hyperscalers, this percentage goes up to 70%. Now, why is Ubuntu so ubiquitous, to his Randeep's word earlier, around the world? I'll tell you two things about it. Firstly, we don't fork our solution. So unlike some of the other open source service providers, you will realize that they build operating systems and solutions which are enterprise grade, which are nothing but open washed licenses or proprietary solution. With Ubuntu, what happens is you get something. Every time you download, you get everything with 5 years LTS, which is long-term support, as a part of your download. You don't need to worry about it. Secondly, in the last 20 years, we have maintained a very strong cadence of releases. So whoever has followed the Ubuntu releases, we have been releasing a new version every 2 years. So anyone who wants to innovate on technologies, deliver capabilities, they don't have to worry about compliance, release management, patch management, because Canonical is taking care of all those aspects of Ubuntu universe. Thirdly, because it's an operating system which cuts across your IoT area, which Randeep spoke about, which cuts across your data center, which cuts across your public cloud, it's very easily used by the developers to develop any kind of solution and integrate it. I spoke about the operating system, but that's not what Canonical does. That's not the only thing that we do, right? In addition to the operating system, we have moved up the chain. A lot of customers, partners are now using Canonical's OpenStack at the abstraction and virtualization layer. After you move up the virtualization layer, there is the whole Kubernetes and the container solution. The whole orchestration solution of Kubernetes is so mature right now that not only our customers, but partners like VMware, partners like Nutanix, when they are trying to build their container capabilities, they're actually using Canonical. So that's the power of Canonical solutions that we are taking to the market. Secondly, we are making it completely open source. So you are able to use it, download it as when you want it in any environment you want with the power of support. However, when you move into an enterprise world, you need to have the confidence that anything that you're putting into your production is secure, reliable, compliant. For that, what we have is something called as Ubuntu Pro, which is nothing but a subscription service which can be with products or only a security patches based approach, which allows you to manage and maintain not only the ecosystem up to the containers, but any open source solution that we are trying to deploy on top of those containers also. And I'll tell you where these open source are becoming more relevant, because that's a very strong India story. In case of open source, what's happening right now is every innovator, whether it is ChatGPT, whether it is NVIDIA, you look at AMD's Rocker, which is the AI platform that they are building. It's all built on open source right now. I'll give you an example of what NVIDIA is doing. It's not moving? Yeah. This is the reference architecture for NVIDIA's AI for enterprise. So every time you're trying to deploy an AI capability, which Randeep spoke about, which consists of, say, data preparation layer, the LLM training layer, the inferencing part, and then after inferencing, the scaling part. NVIDIA uses a set of open source softwares which are integrated together, packaged, and deployed it as an AI for enterprise solution for our clients. The engineering platform of NVIDIA, which is built on CUDA, has already been using Ubuntu for a long time. But what is powerful right now is the whole NVIDIA for AI for enterprise in the backend is actually supported by Canonical. Canonical is the organization that puts together that whole bouquet of open source solutions, integrates it, manages it, and maintains the life cycle of that platform every time someone deploys NVIDIA's AI for enterprise. So that's the power of Canonical in the market right now. I spoke about NVIDIA. I spoke about open source. Why is open source becoming relevant right now? If you look at the IDC report, close to 20% growth is expected year on year in the open source consumption in India in the next 5 years. And that's the conservative number. It's actually going to explode much beyond that. Now, why is it growing so much, the open source world? Firstly, I think someone spoke about the geopatriation thing. We are seeing what is happening with the tariff world in the world. Our governments don't want us to be in a position where we are held ransom on the technology that we are deploying. So we have to have complete control on the technology that we are deploying, and hence open source becomes an easy answer for that. Secondly, in addition to the telecom workloads like 5G, Open RAN that are being deployed, the AI is all going to be open source. I heard Jeff Bezos say some time back, we don't know how AI is going to change the world. We don't know what is going to happen in the AI world. What we definitely know is what is not going to change. What is not going to change is the use of open source in the AI world. It is going to be an open source world once it becomes an AI world. And we genuinely believe that we are in the right place as Canonical to enable our customers and partners as well to take the power of that open source and deploy any technology that they want. How we see Canonical as we are the Lego block providers of technology that any customer partner can pick up and with confidence deploy it in their production environment and execute the plans that they are after. So that's what Canonical does, and which is why we are almost growing at 60% in a country like India. From a telco perspective, I spoke about containers, I spoke about OpenStack. We have customers who have deployed the full stack to deliver a lot of telco capabilities in their environment. When I talk about telco capabilities, it could be at the core, it could be at the RAN, it could be at the edge. Because we have a continuum of operating system plus solutions, we have things like microcloud, for example, which can be deployed at the edge and get a cloud-like experience at the edge with as small as one node. So those are some of the capabilities that some of the telcos are leveraging from Canonical to drive outcomes that they want. Here is a snapshot of some of the telco customers that we have in the world. Now, if you come ask any OEM, they will all have this slide. What makes Canonical interesting is these are the customers who have a strategic relationship with us. It's not a one-off transaction that we have done and we put them as a part of the slide. What do I mean by strategic relationship? Let's look at Deutsche, for example. Leading telco in Europe. Their whole NFI NFV infrastructure is built on Canonical OpenStack, and they've been running that for a multiple number of years. Telefonica, very interesting case study. You know, they have presence in Europe, they have presence in South America. They have decided that they will use Ubuntu Pro for the whole network orchestration, and their cloud runs on Canonical OpenStack. BT has been delivering 5G to 75% of UK's citizens. The whole 5G infrastructure is built on Canonical. So there's a lot of work that we are doing on the private cloud side. But one of the most interesting one for us is the entity one. Because entity decided that they are going to work with a hyperscaler, in this case AWS, to deliver their 5G RAN capabilities. And the system integrator was a local Japanese integrator called NEC. Now what happened with that situation is, they chose the partner of AWS, but the AWS didn't have the services from a 5G RAN perspective running on their portal. So actually, Canonical is the company that is enabling to create those 5G RAN capabilities on AWS so that entity can consume it. So if you want to work with a hyperscaler, you want to build your own capability. Randeep spoke about how localization is becoming more and more critical. Most customers will end up having a situation where they would want to have some capabilities on site and some capabilities at the hyperscalers. This is where Canonical technology with helps us in terms of delivering value for our partners. We are also running a very interesting program called Telco Validation Program. What is this Telco Validation Program? It is nothing but an open source lab at production grade, both in public cloud as well as in private cloud, in partnership with chip manufacturers, in partnership with hardware providers, in partnerships with some of the NF function providers, so that you can test anything at production grade and ensure that it runs on Canonical solution. Now, the reason why it is interesting is the whole lab is open source. Anyone can participate in it and execute the plans that they want. Currently, we have this list of telco providers, NF functions providers, and also vendors who are able to create these solutions, and they are leveraging this lab from our side. I'm seeing some of you taking pictures, so I'll just take a pause here. Okay, I'll move on. You have to be faster with the pictures. So to summarize, what I want to leave you with is this. We revolutionized the open source operating system world with Ubuntu. I explained to you what we are doing in the open source world. By putting together solutions in full stack, we have now reached a place where we want to be empowering every telco, every enterprise to deliver the open source based AI capabilities at any place that they want to. And you have to remember that we are committing that anything you deploy from an open source perspective, whether it is the applications, whether it is the engineering components, everything Canonical can support up to 12 years. I hope it gave you a rough idea of what we do as a company. We have a booth outside. Please don't be shy. Spend some time with us. Our team will explain to you how this all comes together and what are we doing with every telecom vendor in the world. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.